Hello YouTube. So I just had a conversation with a friend who was newly diagnosed bipolar. And he was a little afraid of what that might mean. When it comes to bipolar, being a brain disorder, it's something you're born with, which means you've always had it. It's not like being diagnosed with a disease. Yes, bipolar will get worse if left untreated, but it's not like being diagnosed with a disease like a cancerous tumor that changes everything in an instant. All the diagnosis does is put a name on what's been going on with you for the duration of your life. All the diagnosis does, it does not change you, it does not label you, it does not change the trajectory of your life unless you allow it to, unless you decide that I'm going to identify myself as a main criterion as a mentally ill person. I am now mentally ill because I've been stamped and certified. You are no more mentally ill today after the diagnosis than you were the day before the diagnosis. The only thing that a diagnosis does is allow you access to medication. And we all have two sides of ourselves. They said there's a good wolf and a bad wolf. And whichever one grows is the one we feed more. When it comes to people with bipolar, our wolves are a little more extreme than the norm because of the disorder that we have. Our highs are like those of people on amphetamine if we are on mania, and our depressive episodes are clinical level depression. It can also be accompanied with a slew of other psychotic-like symptoms like intrusive thoughts, such as with OCD or full-blown psychosis, depending on what type of bipolar you have, and other complicating issues such as the way that you were self-medicating to control your normal, to try and reach some normal when you were ill and didn't know it, such as self-medication through alcohol or other drugs, eating disorders, and other complicating issues. However, the day before you went to the doctor and got an answer, you're the same person walking out with that answer that walked in. The only thing the answer changes is access. Now you can have access to medication. It can be a long process to find the right medication for your individual mind and body that is going to have the least side effects and the most benefits to keep you as close to normal as possible, as often as possible. So you have to advocate for yourself and speak openly with your doctors. Also be patient. Expect that for the first while you take medicine, it's going to have side effects. It may sedate you. It may make you too high, and you need to be careful of that as well. Report everything and anything to your doctors, but be patient on expecting the solution to show up rapidly because it takes a while for the medications to build up in your system. Also, never suddenly stop your medication because we can get into this capacity as people with bipolar. Once we feel well for a while, we begin to think we are well and we don't really need medication and we go off of it. Or with the capacity to feel so much more deeply, see the light in the world so much more brightly than is supposed to be natural. Normal can feel dull, and you may believe that the medication is causing you harm and dulling you out, making you fatigued, and due to the side effects of medication, you stop the medication. You should never stop the medication or change your medication without consulting your doctors. Do you even need to be on medication? Some types of bipolar don't require medication at all. They require oversight and techniques to manage them, recognition that you have a problem. that is brain organic in nature, and noticing when you're experiencing symptoms and some techniques to address those symptoms can be helpful. And you don't always need to be medicated. Do you need to be medicated for life? Do you need to be medicated temporarily? What types of medication? This is all things that needs to be discussed with your doctor and continues to need to be discussed as you evolve in the process of working with a therapist. If you've been diagnosed, congratulations. I say congratulations because I'm proud of you for admitting that you might need help with something. Now, what you don't want to do is identify yourself with your disorder. Become a victim. I am bipolar. No, you have bipolar. You're you. You're the same you've always been. Except now that battle between the good wolf and the bad wolf might not be so hard for you, because with the proper amount of medication for you, you will be more in your normal frame of mind to make conscious choices that are better for your health, self-welfare, and the welfare of everyone and anything around you when you're not symptomatic. The only thing it changes is that it gives your life possibility. Possibility to be better than it would have been otherwise had you continued on your merry up and down way, unaware that not all of your choices were your own. Not all of your emotions were your own. And eventually, as it is a progressive disorder, you can go psychotic, like I did, twice. It can progressively get worse. Or you could get to such a dark place that you contemplate suicide. And even just the contemplation of that is painful, let alone the commission or attempted commission. Your life will be smoother with a diagnosis than without. And you don't have to share your diagnosis with everyone. Only those people you feel comfortable sharing it with. And some people who know you may, to your surprise, not be taken aback, not stigmatize you. They might not be that surprised. They might be proud of you for going and seeking the help that they knew you needed. So here's to a brighter future, being taken care of, taking care of any medical, physical, mental issues that you have, from diabetes to bipolar to schizophrenia. The appropriate way is going to give you a better life, better quality of life. It doesn't make you a different person. It just makes your life more manageable. Love you guys. Don't be afraid of your diagnosis. Don't self-diagnose. Don't be your diagnosis. See it as access to a brighter future and a little bit more awareness of who you are and how you operate. Love you guys. Bye, YouTube.